and welcome to episode 7 or 8 or 9 of the Counties podcast, which is, as far as we know, the only podcast, blogcast, or whatever you want to call it, covering the whole of the North West Counties Football League. So, slightly reduced lineup this week due to availability. However, that doesn't necessarily diminish the quality. So, we have probably about 45 minutes to razz off a load of subjects. So no better person to do it with than my esteemed colleague and fellow director of the North West Counties Football League, Mr. Martin Fallon. Hi, Martin.
That's me. Hi, Gary. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Are you well?
Yeah. Busy. I've did a cup final on Friday, a cup final on Saturday, a cup final today. It's end of season, junior cup finals, end of season Runcorn District FA Cup finals. So, yeah, like you say, be a bit shorter this one, maybe 45 minutes, because I'm going for a few games of well-earned snooker.
Superb, mate. Superb. Okay, folks, and I'm your host for this episode. I'm Gary Langley. I'm also the director of the North West Counties Football League and former, well, you can list my former job titles as far as you like, but...
I'm your former clubs, Gary. Sorry.
Cheers, Martin. You're looking forward to next season, Martin, in Division 1 South.
Just to cheer everybody up, like I say, we've had some finals today. I was flipping burgers today, and I sent you a nice picture of myself, which we can pop on the screen here because I know how to do it. So here's me wearing my outfit today. Well, as I say, outfit. It's a penny. Do you call it a penny?
Penny, something along those lines. Yeah, we'll go with penny because it's tradition in these
penny,
parts.
Tabard, whatever. So yeah, that was my gear today.
Good stuff. Okay, right. Well, listen, our viewers have been delighted by your new retail / culinary skills, and now they want to know about some end of season stuff. So the whole point of this podcast this week is to basically round stuff up. So we want to try and round up the league and cup season as far as we can before we start getting into the end of season fun and frolics at Wembley, which hopefully Martin and myself and the media team will be there or thereabouts. Touch wood.
Yeah, hopefully. We're just a bit unsure, as obviously we've been doing video podcasts this year. I know people have asked for the more traditional audio only, on iTunes and Spotify and stuff, and hopefully that's something we'll do for the new season, so it'll be out in both formats.
Might have to do it for Wembley as well at this rate.
Yeah, what you're going to say, it might have to revert to that for Wembley, because I'm not sure of, can we do a video podcast at Wembley? Are we allowed?
Hey, listen, if we've got a few grand in the bank, we can pay for the rights for that. Maybe we'll go for it. Oh, yeah. It might be better just for once, though, to go back to audio and do the website.
We'll find out. We'll ask the good ladies at Wembley Media.
We'll be reading. Okay, right. So without further ado, let's see what we got then. Right, cups, Martin. I was out and about yesterday. I got burnt to a crisp.
Me too. Look at that.
Oh my goodness! So we've all been out and got suitably toasted. Yeah, it's a good shout actually, just in case the sun comes through the door.
Oh, look at that, Gary.
Aye. Tip. You can tell I work in Lancashire. Anyway, right. I was at Camel Laird and they were taking on Ilkley Town in the semi-final of the Edward Case Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And Laird's and Ilkley drew 2-2, but the game was settled by penalties, of which Laird's won by 4. Decent game, loads of people in the, well, actually, no, there weren't too many people in the ground. I think Laird's were saying that there was about 25 through the gate.
Really? No.
Yeah. So still good day had by all, good competitive game of football. And then yesterday evening, they found out who their opponents are. And Martin, am I right in thinking it was the winner of the FC Alaman and Holker game?
Yeah, it was the 2 playoff winners, to be fair, Gary.
Good shout.
First Division North playoff winners. Holker Old Boys travelled to FC Alaman. Holker took the lead, and Alaman actually turned it round. What?
Did Holker win the playoff?
Did they?
You flipping amateur. Don't you keep tabs? You're going to have to keep more tabs on Division 1, you.
Listen, it's not my fault.
Sorry, to slip that in about your relegation.
It's not my fault that Holker rounds in Golker, is it? You know.
It's near enough. Anyway, go
Anyway,
with the
the two playoff finals.
It would have been good if it was right. So anyway, Holker.
You know what? I'm still listening, guys.
Martin Fallon, ladies and gentlemen, at Mr. Fallon, if you want to look him up on Twitter or give him any abuse. Here he is.
I think I need a beer after that.
I think you've already had about 10 by the looks of it. So let's crack on. So anyway, Aleman versus Holker.
Yeah, the playoff winners against the playoff finalists from the other division. Holker took the lead just after the half hour, but FC Aleman it was who turned it round and basically qualified for the final with a goal 2 minutes from time.
Good stuff. Yeah. So the final, that's to be announced, isn't it, Martin, for the date for it?
Yeah, the date's to be announced. It will be at the Isle of Man because we made a decision. It's basically the finalist this year is at the team that finished highest in the league or in the leagues, which obviously was at FC Isle of Man, finishing the second in the division. So they get the choice this year. Just to touch on that, I guess, before we move on to the Macron, just for any new people or people new to the league, new to the cups, etc. We usually try and hold them at neutral venues. So the Macron Cup final is usually held at, pre-COVID, was held at Altrincham FC the last couple of times.
Yeah, I think we've gone Altrincham. We've been to a few, haven't we? The likes of Fleetwood's.
Curzon Ashton over the years, Bury, so yeah. But the last one's usually Altrincham. With this year, obviously with COVID, we've not done it for a couple of years, and basically with us having the cups as an end of season competition this year, as opposed to slotting the cups in throughout the season, it's basically timing. So there's 4 to 7 days notice of going from semi-final to the final, and trying to get a suitable stadium that's in a suitable location at that short a notice it's difficult, to be honest. So
I don't know about yourself, Martin, but I think for what we've needed the cups to be this season, I think bringing them in late, I think we've got away with it to an extent. It's worked. We've got the cups in. The records will show that we've got cup winners, but it's not been everyone's cup of tea. And I think that's been reflected.
It's not my cup of tea. I mean, they need to be in the season, really. And the priority this season, post-COVID, was to get the league season finished. The league said, the FA said that needs to be done by the 2nd of April. We met that deadline as a league. I think we're the only league to meet that deadline, to be honest. Everyone else got pushed back, which made it seem like we finished early. But, that's why this end of the season cups came about. As a result, obviously a lot of teams pulled out of the competition for various reasons, which, wasn't ideal. But hopefully next season, like you say, we've got cup winners. They're there in the history books, or will be after the next couple of weeks, and then we can go back to a more traditional format next season.
I'm all for that. So we touched there on the Macron Cup. There was the first semi-final that took place yesterday. I know a few of our colleagues went over to Victory Park, home of Chorley FC. It's been a while since Chorley have been anywhere near the counties. So there was a bit of a story to that, wasn't there, Martin? I think that there was a need for a quick ground change due to traditional end of season work taking place at Charnock Richard.
Remedial work taking place, which happens at every club at this time of year, getting the pitch ready for the new season. It's not a case of just leaving it. You do aeration, scarification, and all that type of stuff.
I love a bit of scarification, mate.
Dirty draining, which putting the sand in and everything. So it's a science, basically. You've got to do it at certain times of year. So yeah.
So it was Charnock Richard. They were technically hosting Skelmersdale United. And we'll come to them very shortly. But it was Charnock Richard who came up the winners as well, weren't it? So
coming from behind again, like Isle of Man, win 2-1.
So they're the first finalists, and the second finalists will be decided on Tuesday evening when Camel Laird are in action again in another semi-final, and they take on Congleton Town. So that should be quite some game, that, and I would imagine there'll be quite a few bodies there as well. Are you heading along yourself, Martin?
No, won't be, no.
I'm going to see what time I finish where I might head over again.
Interviews this week.
Yeah, oh God, yeah. Okay, so we mentioned there that Scam didn't touch Lucky yesterday. However, last week it was a different story altogether as they travelled to Cinderford Town in the promotion playoffs, and they weren't the only ones to travel, were they, Mark?
What? Oh no, well I travelled. Yeah.
Oh no way!
Yeah.
How was it?
It was nice, you know. Nice-ish ground, lovely people, really nice people there. You know, couldn't be more hospitable. But to me, it really highlights the difference between a team finishing, you know, really low down in a league compared to a team finishing high in a league. And Skelmersdale, they won 5-1 on the day to earn promotion. Cinderford, it could have been 8. It maybe should have been 8, but could have been 10, 12. Really, you know, Scam were by far the most superior team on the day. You know, 5-1 says it all. Say again,
Does that make the playoffs more fair? Because obviously the team looking for promotion have had to travel millions of miles to go to the game. Is that a leveler?
Well, hopefully they're going to be doing it again next season. But hopefully it's going to be a short-lived thing because overall, you know, throughout the step, I think there was 6 playoffs, and it was the team basically going for promotion as to keeping their place that earned the win. I think it was 4-2 for teams getting promoted. You know,
it was
the
really
ones still
close.
got relegated. So it really highlights that at the end of the day, the FA needs to be rewarding progression. If you finish 3rd, 4th, and bottom at that league, and you have to go down, then I'm sorry, but the FA should tell them they're going down.
Yeah, and it's not the end of the world getting relegated because you can regroup and go again.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Exhibit B and Scam, obviously they've come down, they've regrouped, they go again, and they'll go back stronger for the experience, I'd like to think.
Yeah, so, you know, to me, step 4, step 5, the FA really needs to pull the finger out on this one. It's the only step of the football pyramid where a team gets to fight for the lives, so to speak. It's a team finishing 3rd bottom or 4th bottom goes into the playoff. Nowhere else from, you know, Northern Premier League level right up to the Championship does that happen in English football. So it needs to not happen at our level as well. You know, and if step 3, 4 leagues don't like it, then, you know, who runs football in this country at the end of the day? It's the FA, really. So they should be saying, well, we want to reward success. Like you just said, Gary, sometimes you need to get relegated to come back up stronger. Runcorn Town this year, you know, we've got relegated.
No way.
It's one of them. No, it's one of them things though. But so maybe we need it as a club to, you know, to regroup, win games next season, and then come back stronger.
Absolutely, and this is what we say to clubs who, you know, get relegated to steps 5 to 6, or even worse, drop out altogether. We always say regroup, get your heads together, come back stronger. That's what we're saying to.
Well, it's like all right. So say I look at Runcorn Town's fan base. There's people I know who've been coming for years who've not really been coming this season because it's crap football and all that. But say we got reprieve, and then next season we ended up in the same position. That the ones that are not coming, they're still not going to come, but then more will not come, and you get into a habit of doing other stuff. Then that's what happened to Rossendale United, basically. That's why they folded, because they never got relegated to our league when they should have done. And sometimes you need to go down to come back.
Yeah. Get a few wins under your belt, break that habit of losing, and break that momentum which Cinderford had, and go again.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Martin, right. Because we're a little bit tight on time, this one I'm going to move on. I'm going to look at the season in general, seeing as this is the wrap-up for the season podcast. So we are coming to the end of the 21-22 season. Been a slight difference in the usual with the planning. So obviously we've got the league razzed off nice and quick. The cups came in quite late, but that was a little bit of a mishmash. Overall, though, have you enjoyed the season for what it's been, for what it represents, and for the experiences that we've had?
You're asking a team who've been relegated, have I enjoyed the season?
I'm asking a director of the Northwest Counties Football League. Get your Runcorn Town cap off and tell me what you think as a director.
Yeah, I think overall it's been a good season, to be honest. You know, I do. I think once the FA still need to sort out them playoffs, because as a byproduct of the playoffs, your second place isn't just a playoff place then. It's 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, because you have traditional playoffs. So, like, take this year, for example, it pretty much was. You know, you had Wythenshawe Town, Skelmersdale United, and Charnock Richard going for that second place, and their season was alive till the end. So, say you were having the top 5 in the playoffs, basically. Yep. Then right down to 10th could still have aimed for that 5th place and a chance of promotion. And that'd have really kept the Premier Division wide open all season.
That's what happened in Division 1, wasn't it? You know,
yeah, exactly. Look at Nelson. You know, Nelson came from nowhere and they got into the playoffs at the end of the season. Okay, they didn't get promoted ultimately, but it kept their season alive all the way through. And that's what it's about, really.
Yeah, I agree. I think when you look at the logistics of that, that's been one of the downsides to it, and the fact that we do need the FA to look at the bigger picture. But I think when you look at the fact that we've got a full season in, by hook or by crook, we've got a full season in, and considering where we've come from that pandemic time, you know, touch wood, we stay out of that. But it gives us a building base to catch up and then look at things like that again. Now, for me, I've seen some cracking games this season. I've seen some good players come through. Yeah. I've seen some last-minute winners. I've seen some last-minute defeats. But it's been around the league, not necessarily for me personally, but around the league, it's been a good season to watch. There's been a lot of debate. There's lots gone on. And let me fire something else.
Good football season. You know, Macclesfield, new club.
Yeah.
Resurrected totally. That Macclesfield have been fantastic, I think. I really do. You know, wish this phone would stop beeping at me. It's all my Everton supporting friends. You know, they've actually got a win.
I think that'll be the Hulk fans trying to pull you over what you said before. Macclesfields are a good example. Yeah, they've done it. They've come and done what they needed to do, and they've gone up. Yeah, obviously, you and I have seen some of the social media stuff but I mean, a lot of clubs haven't been great, but Macclesfield, by and large, they've come down, they've respected the league, and then they've done what they needed to do.
All this about them buying the league, it's nonsense to me. You know, they got by far the best supported team in the league. What was it, 2,500 average? And I think that was only because
they'll try and tell you it was about 3,000.
No, but a lot of that was because the early games were capped capacity. Yeah. So if you look at the more recent games, they were well over 4,000. Yeah. So if you get 4,000 people through your gates, you're bound to have a higher wage bill. It's not rocket science. So
and they've done what they've needed to do, and they did it all their own way. You know, Charnock Richard, Wythenshawe.
Say they had a wage bill of £1,000 a week, yeah, and they finished 8th. Then their supporters would be going, "Hang on a minute, why are we finishing 8th when we've got 4,000 people through the gates?" No, they've done, like you said, they've done what they had to do. They got promoted. When I've been to Macclesfield, I've been 3-4 times this season. It's always been a great atmosphere there at games. It really has, you know.
I think you've never got a selfie with Robbie Savage.
Well, he has asked me a few times, but you know, I'm not that sort of person.
You're not that much into that. I get it. You don't call it controversy.
No, not at all.
Okay, Martin, let's have a little look.
So, yeah, I mean, they've done well. Ilkley Town, you know, they're another new club like Macclesfield to the league. They've done fantastic, I think, you know.
Well, on subject of clubs similar to Macclesfield, because I'll get to the new clubs in a minute.
All right, okay.
Saying new clubs, let's have a little look at Bury AFC and FC Alaman.
Well, I'll tell you what, just to round off, we spoke about Macclesfield, spoke about Skem, so they're leaving us, they're getting promoted. The one coming down from the Northern Premier League, who's sort of in our area, is Kendal Town. So they might
go Northern League, though, might they?
They could go in the Northern League. It depends, doesn't it? It all depends on the FA restructure. So they could be joining us in the summer. We don't know yet.
But I mean, that's one that we can come on to in a minute when we talk about the likely structure for next season. I'm talking about, you know, maybe this season, when you look at the high points of it, the likes of FC Alaman have come in. They've had, they didn't have it all their own way. They got off to a slightly shaky start. They had a lot of restrictions. They've come in and done well in their division. Bury AFC, I think they've done things the right way as well. I think they've adapted well. And neither club had it their own way either.
A lot of people have been sort of outspoken about FC Alaman and the way their fixtures went. Now, you know, when the fixtures come out, it was home and away the same as everybody else. It's only because the Isle of Man government wouldn't allow people in who weren't vaccinated for the first half of the year. You know, they said they had a massive advantage having all them home games on the trot, obviously to do that, you've got to have away games on the trot. And they had something like 18 away games on the trot, which is, you try and do that as a club,
Well, you can't, can you? It's just that.
Yeah, and it's doubly difficult for them because, one, they're getting no income from home games, but they're still having to shell out all the flights and ferries and all that for their squad to come over here, maybe hotels staying over. And doing that 18 times without having a home game is, you're lucky they survived the season, really, I'd say. But because of good sponsorship that they never.
Yeah, and they made a fist of it, but they didn't have it all their own way, as West Didsbury and Chorlton, who are another club who absolutely nailed it this season, can vouch.
Do you know what, Gary?
Oh, what a story this season.
I went to the Lancashire Cup final, which was West Didsbury and Chorlton against Southport. And West Didsbury and Chorlton fans, that'll live with me for a long time. They were unreal. You know, the step 6 side against a team 4 divisions higher, who have been in the conference, have played league sides in FA Cup games. They've got a big support. And West Didsbury and Chorlton just completely outnumbered them, completely outsung them. All game, it was amazing to see. They got beat on the field, but that, to me, that's irrelevant. You expect them to get beat on the field. That memory will last a long time of their fans. It was unreal.
It's another plus from what's been, for me, quite a good season. And you look at Division 1 North, Bury AFC, very impressed with them. Their fans came.
Yeah, let me just finish with West Didsbury a minute. It's like you dealt quite a lot with like the fan company experience, is it? Where
fan experience company, yeah.
Yeah. So, but basically, you do polls on fans of what's good and what's bad about football and all that. And to me, off the field, obviously on the field, they won the league. They got everything right on the field, West Didsbury and Chorlton. But off the field as well, they've been phenomenal. And they're going to be, I think Premier Division clubs are not going to know what's hit them next season. When West Didsbury and Chorlton come to town, they expect 30, 40, 50 people like they used to bring. It won't be happening next season. They'll be bringing 300 to most games, I think, because it's become an experience. It's something that they look forward to every single Saturday, West Didsbury and Chorlton fans. And yeah, I think they'll surprise a lot of people next season.
I think we've the likes of Mark Bradley, the Fan Experience Company, and others who have been brought in and work with the counties as well. This is what we've been saying for a while. You've got to do the work on and off the park.
Yeah.
I was at Lurge yesterday. I went to the WC. I looked up, as you do, and on the system there, full of stickers. Hey? Spider. Oh no, that was in the corner. I kept me half an eye on that as well. Spider. But yeah, there was the stickers there from the likes of West Didsbury and Chorlton, and they're travelling support, and a couple of other clubs as well. And yeah, they've done a model right. They've put a very significant South Manchester twist on it. But they've got the real ale in. They've got the hipsters. I apologise for I don't know.
Crombacker.
Yeah, they've got all that. They've got the old seaweed on the go. Seaweed on the go. So that's good. And just as a day out of football, it's attractive. You've got people going there who aren't necessarily interested in the football, are you?
No, exactly. Yeah. They go for the day out. They go for the atmosphere. To wake up on the Sunday and go, that was a fantastic day. What was the score? Oh, I don't know. I wasn't watching the football. They go for the atmosphere and the crack and to be with people who are like them, basically. Yeah, it's been great. Bury, you moved on to?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Bury a few times this season, and you've been there to present a number of awards.
I have,
and in my opinion, they've been humble. They've kept their head down. They've cracked on with it. They've done what they needed to do, and they did well in the league. And they'll do well again next season. But they've done it the right way. Clubs like Holker, it's been good to see them challenging. Although Martin, newsflash, didn't quite get over the finish line. Goka, they did well. They have challenged. They've always been there or thereabouts, and they kept that challenge up right to the end.
And they won the playoffs, didn't they? Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah.
Oh.
But even Nelson. I mean, I went to Nelson not so long ago. And the ground's looking the ground's looking tidy. I could get a drink or whatever I needed.
Get the other one into it. AFC Blackpool. They're the same as Nelson. They've tidied the ground up unbelievably. It's fresh. You go there. You've got young people watching them who never watched them before. And exactly, yeah. They've really turned things around. Yeah.
So I think it's been a good season. All right, next season will look a lot more familiar to fans who've been around the counties for longer than a season and a bit. But it still bodes well for next season. Okay. Yeah. So speaking of next season, then we've got a busy summer coming up. Obviously, you and I will be quite busy with our respective league hats on, and we've got stuff coming out from the FA at some point. Now, you and I also see a lot of the social media side of things, and there's always questions asked. Some people ask the same question about 19 times. But from a league shape next season, we don't know yet, do we? We haven't got a clue until our friends at the FA Leagues Committee send us an email and go, there you go, get to release the 3.
So I remember when Runcorn Town came into the league, even when West Didsbury came into the league, because they were the year after. Well, so what happened was we used to come to Blackpool to the AGM. We used to come into the room, explain who he was, type thing, where we finished, all that type of stuff, why we want to come into North West Counties League. We then left the room while the meeting voted whether we come into the league or not. And then they come bring us back in and say yay or nay, type thing. It doesn't happen like that now. Teams apply to the FA. They either say yes or no as to whether they're coming into the league. Like say Runcorn Town got relegated, as we know. We could go in the north or south. It's nothing to do with the league anymore. Who makes up or the makeup of each league. It's up to the FA. So
and these clubs that they don't necessarily apply to a specific league, do they? And you and I have had this debate. We've been doing counties podcasts for years now. And every year we try and reiterate the point, and particularly in the last couple of years when it's been very specific to a point, that they apply for step X, don't they? So
it's like, I think I got a bit of grief on it, obviously because I do the Twitter on the match day. So it's like for the playoffs, it's like, congratulations to Golka United, congratulations to FC Isle of Man, who have been promoted to step 5 of the National League system. I've specifically not put the Premier Division because you don't. It's entirely up to the FA. Basically get 320 teams at step 5, and then they allocate them into 18 leagues. Some might have 19.
They can express a preference, can't they? They can express a preference.
Yeah, I think so.
To move, but again, that has to be considered by Wembley. It's again now to do with us. We wish them well. If that request comes or goes, we think out of it. We get to Blackpool in June, which we'll come to in a minute, and we wish everyone well.
Yeah, it's entirely up to the FA, who know, and I think last year was about the 15th of May, they let clubs know.
Yeah.
So we're probably expecting something similar. We as a league get to know the makeup for next season exactly the same time as clubs themselves get to know.
I think we get about an hour's notice, don't we? It was about an hour's notice last year.
Yeah.
And that was you, me, and everyone else on computers very quickly. Those of us who we knew, we had to set everything up good to go. With the graphics, with the explanation, and that's all we had. We didn't know weeks in advance. We didn't have an inkling. We didn't look up at games thinking, well, you're coming into our league, so we'll go and watch you. Don't work like that.
Well, so basically,
a good example in it.
There's certain people online who do predictions or projections, so to speak, and one of them I've got here, which is non-league maps. So that's basically non-league maps on Twitter at non-league maps. They do one, which is generally it's close. They're never ever spot on because at the end of the day, they're guessing like everyone else.
There's always a little random element in it. I mean, there's a guy I follow called Peter Miller who does that. Very similar.
They generally are pretty much the same because what they do, they have the 320 teams and they break it down. Well, exactly the same exercise what the FA is going to do. So, but you still don't know what the FA are going to do. But just going to base it on that, just so we've got something to talk about here. So they're gonna have Bury, FC Isle of Man, West Didsbury in the Premier Division. Golka United are going to go to the Northern Counties East according to their projections.
There could be something in that. You never know. Depends on which way the bubble goes in it, because they might bring it in from one way and push out another.
Well, again, according to their predictions, we're not going to get Kendal, who, like we said, was going to go to the Northern League. But instead, we're going to get Silsden back.
Always a good day out.
It is,
but again, it depends on how they push that bubble in at the FA. Because
exactly, it could be a case of
in one way, they're going to have to send it out another.
But it could be a case that they keep Silsden in that league and keep Golker in our league, because that then why switch the two? You may as well keep them in the same one. You know,
we've been asked umpteen times over the likes of Division 1 North. Where's that dividing line going to be?
Well, usually it's what
the Merseyside being right on the line for North and South.
We're a prime example at Runcorn. We're right on the border. We've no idea who's going to. So you've got Camel Laird, who, for those who don't know the motorway network, they drive past Runcorn on the M56. So they're in the south. So it makes sense for us to be in the south.
Yeah. But then if you look as the crow flies, if you were to go due east from Camel Laird's, you've got South Liverpool and Jericho Lane. Literally, you can see one from t'other.
Yeah, I can see Jericho Lane from out my back window. Roughly,
yeah, that's because you've got a country estate and it's even miles.
Yeah, I know. Well, basically,
it shows the fickle nature of it, doesn't it? It's where they draw those maps. It's where they draw those lines.
Oh, again, this is according to non-league maps, their projections, and obviously at step 6, this is a little bit different because it's all to do with ground grading, and we don't know as a league who's past ground grading or not. That again is up to the FA. We have
an idea, but we've got nothing set in stone because we go out and do some of the ground grading on behalf of the FA, and then we put the findings into the FA, and then they take that information and do what they wish with it.
And we do some, but we don't do all. We don't do all the ground grading. So all they do is you inspect it, you report it to the FA, and then they decide. So according to their predictions, you're going to have Camel Laird and Asheville in the north next season.
Don't mind Asheville. Nice little club.
No, Camel Laird in the north, not the south. They're going to move to the north.
Wouldn't surprise me, but you never know.
And then Uxton Villa and FC St Helens as new clubs who are coming up from step 7.
Exton Villa. Silent U.
You say London Euston, like Euston, so it's Uxton. How am I meant to know it's Exton? I don't live in Lancashire.
No, but I go through on the train every day, so trust me, as a semi-authority on Exton, Balshore Lane, it's Exton.
So it's a silent
nice club
U.
as well.
Silent U.
Silent U, so make a note. It's like Goka with the silent L.
Okay, so Exton Villa and FC St Helens,
by the way,
they say are going to be promoted. And then the south, obviously, will have Runcorn Town in it from the Premier Division.
Oh, you'll enjoy that.
Stockport Georgians and Foley Mere, who again are coming up from step 7 or the county feeder leagues. Also, Holmond or Hoffmond?
Oh, Hoffmond. Oh, yeah. They're out Ellesmere way, I think, aren't they?
Yeah, they are somewhere like that. Yeah, so they're going to be coming from the Midland League. So
allegedly.
Like I said, all this is projections. It means absolutely nothing at the end of the day. Just something to talk about, basically.
I think for the viewer, the best way to round that off is to say, watch this space. We'll be as surprised as you are, but every summer we always end up. There's always a surprise. Yeah, there's always a surprise.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the other thing I forgot to say. According to this prediction here, we're also going to lose Congleton Town and Winsford to the Midland League.
Congleton Town. Well, I think we spoke about it on the podcast before. I think clubs like Congleton Town, Barlick, who are right on the boundary, and always going to be Silsden.
The problem you've got, Gary, and the FA caused this problem. We as a league, or John Deal as the league secretary, he's been asking for a meeting with the FA about this very subject for 12, 18 months now, and they still haven't granted him. So here's the crux of the problem, is we've got 20 teams in each division, roughly. Yeah. So some get promoted. Skem and Thingy get promoted. Macclesfield, yeah, sorry. Brain freeze then. Skem and Mac get promoted. Kendall come back down, for example. Yeah. So that takes us from 21 teams to 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. From the first division, Runcorn Town go down, so that's 19 teams we're now at. But because we've got 2 first divisions, you got 2 promoted and 2 playoff winners. So that's now 23 in the Premier Division.
Yeah.
So every single season, our Premier Division's going to lose 2 or 3 teams every year, without a doubt.
So how do we get rid of those 3 teams, Martin?
Well, it's up to the FA, but it's going to involve shifting boundaries all the time.
Okay.
So if you look at the makeup of the Premier Division now, Congleton and Winsford are the most southerly teams because that boundary's creeping ever more further up the country.
So we could lose teams maybe southerly or maybe easterly.
Yeah,
or gain one easterly in the likes of Silsden.
Yeah. So it could be. So like last year, we lost Hanley Town and we lost Whitchurch.
Didn't do either of them any harm. Oh
no, not at all. But the point is, the current makeup of the non-league pyramid, we're always going to lose 2 or 3 teams every single summer from our Premier Division, and that it might be all right once or twice, but not every season. It's unsustainable. That.
On the subject of Congleton, because they won an appeal last time out, that technically doesn't make them safe from a potential move, does it? Because it's a clean slate, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we could get moved again. I don't know what the reason was, what the reasons he put forward on the appeal. They must have been strong ones, obviously.
They did well last season. Okay, Martin, I appreciate time's getting on. So let's run through the last couple of bits. The AGM, we're all off on our jollies to Blackpool in about 4 or 5 weeks. What goes on?
So there's the AGM itself at 11 o'clock. Usually lasts about 46 minutes.
Suited and booted?
Yeah. So everyone's going to be there in the shirt and ties. It's a formal occasion. So that usually lasts about 46 minutes.
To the minute?
Yeah. We have done it quicker the last couple of years on Zoom, but obviously we're going back to face-to-face meetings now. And then people go off and they do different stuff all day. I'm off to meet some friends in the afternoon.
But then be working.
Everybody gathers back at 7 o'clock for what is the awards dinner and presentation evening.
Always a good evening, that.
Yeah, it is. So we're doing something different this year. I mean, this is not public knowledge, but it will be when this goes out. So,
exclusive. Another one.
Exclusive. Yeah. So generally we've had like singers on in the past, and comedians, a lot of singers and stuff. Like as the entertainment of the evening. This year we're going to have like a football person speaking, like an after dinner speaker. Like
right, okay, so like a sports person's evening sort
exactly,
of format.
Yeah.
But without the Irish bingo and stuff like that.
Yeah. So
that'll be all right.
Because
it's always a good night as well. The players let the hair down, the man buns come down. John Deal gets.
At the end of the day, we're all football people, so we'll enjoy stuff like that. We'll enjoy football stories, So we're giving it a whirl. We'll see what it's like. I can't announce who it is at present because the contracts have still been sorted out. But it should be a good one.
So it's always a good evening for the officials and the players, really, isn't it? And that's a good way to end the season off. But in the business in the morning, we welcome the new clubs, don't we? So you end up with some clubs legging it in, and then some clubs legging it out because the Northern Premier League normally have their do somewhere else. But that might be different this year because of
it's different this year. So because they've got a new division, the Northern Premier League AGM is in Birmingham this year. Don't know if you know that or not.
Yeah, I had an inkling of it.
So
I'm used to the AGM being a mad kind of day.
Yeah, it's usually at the Hilton, but that's in the days where you used to have to get formally voted in and voted out and stuff like that. Like we say, it's all changed now. There's none of that voting in, voting out. The FA tell us in advance who's going to be in each league. We're going to know in 2 weeks' time, basically, who's going to be in each league. So, if necessary, Macclesfield and Skelmersdale can send people up to Blackpool to say goodbye and all that, and also send people to Birmingham for, acceptance into the Northern Premier League.
It's always good for me because you tend to aim towards Mark Kelly's of a lunchtime just to stick your head in to see who's in there. And there's always some clubs in there, ties are off, and there's always a familiar face on the mic. There's always a familiar face. It varies every year, but there's always somebody going for it at like 1 o'clock in the day at Mark Kelly's, normally with a bottle of some sort of alcoholic beverage in their hand. So, it's the formal end of the season and the formal start of the new one, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I mean, it is a good evening. Like I say, we'll have the speaker this year. And then after that, you'll have your meal, a lovely 3-course meal. And then you do your presentations, which is, your club of the year, leading goal scorer, programme of the year, all sorts of different awards, basically, to recognise the successes of the season, basically.
Is your programme up for consideration this year, Martin?
I would like to think so.
There's been a change since I did it.
Yeah, we always do a good programme. Yeah, so hopefully we'll be there. But again, I won't know till the evening. I'll never know till the evening. So yeah.
No worries, mate. And last one for you before I let you go and play your snooker. Non-league finals day. I think we touched on it at the beginning, aren't we? We're open to be there, all being well. It wouldn't be non-league finals day without us raiding the Husky fridges at Wembley.
No, I mean it's basically it becomes something of a tradition, to be honest. For us, it's a nice way for us to end the season. We've been lucky the last couple of years since we've been doing it. I think we've had. We had Glossop in the final one year, didn't we? We've had Warrington Rylands in the final. I'm sure there was someone else I can't think of off the top of my head.
It's Glossop and Rylands that stick out for me, but we normally end up doing a sort of mini unofficial tour of Wembley when we end up getting lost walking through random fire.
Yeah, but it's nice because it's non-league finals day. It's not just the teams that are in the final. It's a celebration of non-league football. FA Vars and the FA Trophy. I like to think, in my eyes, there's still prestige competitions. And especially the FA Vars. It's a chance for people at our level to play at Wembley Stadium. You can never take that away from anybody, be that players or officials of that club. Never will.
It's one of a day, innit? I remember Greg Hall, all his press are lining up underneath Wembley, and he makes a beeline for the Counties podcast. These guys have been with us all season. Damn right you were, Greg.
So basically, this year is Newport Pagnell Town against Littlehampton Town. That's in the FA Vars. That's 12:15 kickoff, and that's followed by the FA Trophy final, which is Bromley against Wrexham. It should be a good day. Like I say. I think it means more to FA Vars finalists because maybe the FA Trophy finals sort of could become secondary to, the National League clubs and getting promoted back to the Football League. But you try telling any Wrexham supporter it's not a big deal them playing at Wembley. Trust me, it is.
Oh, they'll all be there. But that's the good thing about it. And you've got support of the four teams. You've got neutrals. Every year I've always bumped into familiar faces. Either as a media official, a league official, or just as a fan. I've always bumped into people I know at Wembley. It's just non-league's big day out, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Right, Martin.
So it's definitely worth doing. And let me just. I'm just trying to get one ticket here. Search for ticket. But basically, just looking here, it's £25 for a ticket. For non-league finals day.
For 2 games at Wembley.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
no way, you can barely get a pie and a beer for that in Wembley. That's great value.
Yeah, exactly. So it's if you've never been to Wembley and you just want a day out, go do it. Basically, and that's for adults. Basically, I think children are £1 traditionally. So you can take a family for less than 30 quid or 30 quid basically. 2 adults, 2 children, whatever. And it's a day out at Wembley watching two games. You don't have to stay for both of them if you don't want to. You're going to get your money's worth anyway. So, it's definitely worth doing. I mean, we love it, don't we? It's good.
Absolutely. All right, Martin. Well, listen, you've got snooker that you need to do. So I think that's a good end to the podcast for the season.
I think you missed one thing out, Gary, from what we said earlier, which is the sort of start date for next season.
Oh, yes. So I have. I'm trying to get you away to your snooker, but this is important, folks. Martin,
put it this way, the person that'll be playing will be quite happy at the bar for 5 minutes. So next season it's going to start on the 23rd? 23rd of July. That'll be the traditional Champions Cup between the between the Macron Cup winners and the league winners. So obviously that'll be Macclesfield against what?
Insert team here.
Yeah, we don't know yet. Either China,
Congleton, Leeds,
Congleton or Leeds. Yeah. So, it'll be one of them. And I think also on the same day is going to be the First Division Champions Cup. So in effect, that's the winners of our 2 First Divisions, the North and the South. So it'll be Bury versus West Didsbury and Chorlton. and they play a Champions Cup tie in order to the overall First Division winners, in effect, isn't it? So
yeah. We tend to have these early starts, don't we, to try and give teams
a
chance, if we can, to get a game under the belt.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, and then obviously that's on the 23rd of July, and then kick-off for the season itself is on the 30th. So Saturday the 30th of July in everybody's diaries. The reason it's that is, like you say, Gary, the FA Cup is the following weekend, which I guess will be the 7th, off the top of my head, 7th of August.
6th or 7th, yeah.
30 days of September, April, June. It might be the 6th then. Yeah,
just bring up a digital doodah, right? Saturday the 6th of August.
Yeah, it's the 6th, yeah. So that'll be the FA Cup game. So like you've just said, Gary, we like to give teams in our league some competitive matches before they go into the FA Cup. We did it the other year, because they're making the FA Cup earlier and earlier. We actually started the season with FA Cup matches, and I think half the teams got knocked out because
some were rough as toast, weren't they? Because they just did. They were struggling to get into second gear.
Yeah, so we'll start on the 30th. Will probably be a midweek fixture, a local midweek fixture for everybody then, on the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday if you bake up Borough. And then FA Cup that following weekend. For the First Division sides, we're talking it may be the First Division Cup first round on that day as well, because First Division sides are not in the FA Cup, so it'll be Cup weekend, for everybody.
And a game's a game, and it's a competitive game, so it counts.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, everyone should have had a full pre-season fixture full pre-season calendar by then, and then we'll hit the ground running with football in August. It was a nice month to watch football. I think the sun's out, have a beer, put your shorts on, put your hat on to protect your bald head.
Yeah, and the suntan lotion, I got burnt to a crisp, just like your head.
Oh, honestly, I went to AFC Knowsley yesterday, which
up and coming side in the region.
Yeah, hopefully a North West Counties club themselves in the coming years. They applied this year, which I don't think it was necessarily to get in. I think it was more a case of we're applying so that Jeff and Cole will go down and grade the ground. So we've got a list of what to work to in the. That's
what we do in it. We encourage clubs to do that, to try and build up over a number of years, rather than to just say, get everything in order, get your house sorted, and Jeff will come out and.
Yeah, and they've got really nice facilities there. They've got a little bit of work to do to get up to Norfolk County standards, but they are working towards it, and they'd definitely be welcome in the league. But yeah, it was Cup Finals day yesterday there in the Junior Warrington in the St Helens Junior League. I was there watching a cup final. It was just overcast, no sun. I thought I'm all right, and then burnt to a crisp.
Sun always shines in Birkenhead, I was told yesterday.
Honestly, didn't know it was. I couldn't tell it was hot. Couldn't tell it was sunny. So you just have to watch it.
Crisp.
I know. So got me hat on, ready for the Formula One later on. And that'll be my evening snooker Formula One bed.
Fair dues, mate. Someone's got a 4:45 alarm call that we've got to attend to, so I'll leave that to you. Right, Martin, time to wrap this podcast up, or video podcast, or vlog past, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to wrap it up. It's a good end to a good season. That's the one, video podcast. Good end to the season.
We've been asked about doing traditional ones, haven't we? Again, I
think it's important that we look at it.
Yeah, I think we'll do that for starting next season. So we'll have it video format like this, but we'll also release it on iTunes like we used to, and Spotify, and so people can listen on the go.
I think for us this season, this has been a big step forward, hasn't it? Because we've done Counties podcast for years, and it's always been audio. It's always been well received. We needed to move with the times because other leagues are starting to do these video things now. And when we get the hang of these things and the editing and so on, you can get a lot more info on. But we still need to look after our audio listeners as well. And we've not forgot about that. And we'll get there. We've just had to take the step up with the technology to get this done. And hopefully it seems to have been well received when I've been out and about. I don't know what yourself, Martin, but seems to be.
Apart from the fact people know what I look like now. And we go, it's you! Get out of my
Fallon from the league. You need to get yourself the old flat cap and the glasses and the false moustache, mate. It works a treat.
I can't really have glasses and a false moustache when I wear glasses. And
if you take your glasses off, it might have the same effect. Right. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Please hit that like button somewhere around there. Please hit the subscribe, and there's a bell button as well, apparently, so you can get an alert when these things go live. We will be doing them through the summer as well, because although football only sleeps for about a week, if that, there's still stuff to talk about going through the summer.
We'll be doing a Wembley one if they allow video. We're not sure yet. That might be an audio only.
We might have to do a sort of video edit. Maybe a pre and post game.
Yeah,
we'll do something video and audio.
Yeah, we'll chat with the girls in the media departments at Wembley, and we'll come up with something. But,
so watch this space, but we've still got the big Wembley one to do, and we'll be live through the summer as well. So we'll be folks. Yeah. That's been Martin Fallon, director of the league. Thank you, Martin.
Thanks. I'm off to play with some balls now. So thank you.
Absolutely. You go off and pot your brown, and I'm going to go downstairs and get myself ready for work in the morning, because some of us have got an early start, don't you know? Not that I'd mention that much. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. We'll be back for another edition soon.